What does nostalgia mean to you? What takes you back? Maybe it's a familiar smell or a certain food. Perhaps it's a song you listen to from time to time or an old movie. For me, all those questions can be answered with 4 words. Blue Eyes White Dragon. Technically 3 because Blue Eyes is hyphenated, but that's neither here nor there. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another figure review. Today we're taking a look at our first of probably many Yu-Gi-Oh! S.H.MonsterArts to come, the Blue Eyes White Dragon. As I mentioned before, this children's trading card takes me back every time I crack open my deck box, or open my card binder solely dedicated to one of Yu-Gi-Oh!'s most iconic creatures. And here, Tamashii has given us a stunning representation of Seto Kaiba's main monster. Right away, we're greeted with an amazing box art depicting the ultimate engine of destruction in a pose that maybe those who live to tell the tale would simply describe this as awesome. Or trigger PTSD, one or the other. The side profiles of the box show Blue Eyes in what is probably its most iconic pose from the trading card game, with the top of the box having windows to give us a sneak peek into what's in store for us. And even more so when you turn the package on its backside. The figure looks like it's crashed its way through a piece of hieroglyphic slab, and the rest of the profile shows off more poses you can get this figure into, and the accessories that come with it. Out of the box, Blue Eyes is nothing short of stunning. The figure is finished in a white pearlescent paint with blue shading throughout to give Blue Eyes' defining features even more depth. Anyone familiar with Blue Eyes can tell that Tamashii did their homework, recreating these details excellently. The only other color present on the figure is on the purple-like tongue and the mouth when you open the jaws. On the note of the tongue, this particular copy's tongue popped down on me, and upon inspection it looked like something had actually broken off. But thankfully, it was just a piece of resin that wasn't properly snipped off at the factory. Once I took some hobby snips to it, we were able to get the tongue back in no problem. Taking a closer look at the sculpt, Blue Eyes has nicely sculpted wings, claws, and segmented portions of the body, with that blue gradient being shown off alongside the head, on the appendages, in the wings, all the way down the body, and even flowing through the tail. If I had to name a design that Tamashii was shooting for, I'd have to say it was a little bit of everything. The figure draws heavily on the tablet artwork that everyone knows and loves for the arms, legs, and wings, with hints of LOB for the body and knees from the most recent movie artwork. Either way, I love the design of the figure, and I think Tamashii nailed the execution on this one. But how about articulation? Can the same be said for that? Let's find out.
Take flight, Blue Eyes White Dragon, rise! Go, White Lightning attack!
Alright, so getting the articulation here for Blue Eyes. I do want to stress that this is my first S.H.MonsterArts review. I've reviewed 2 other S.H. Figuarts figures, but never a MonsterArts figure. So bear with me, I may miss a few details, because 1, I'm excited about this figure. It's my favorite monster from Yu-Gi-Oh! So I'm going to miss a few things, I'm sure. Let's start from the head and work our way down. So, for the head, Blue Eyes here is on a ball peg, and he's able to look side to side very nicely. He can look up about that far without the assistance of the neck, and he can look down about like that. The jaw is on a ball peg that plugs into the roof of the mouth, so Blue Eyes can look down like that, and can close its mouth about like that. The top of the head has some articulated points for the fins. You can flare them out to get Blue Eyes into a more aggressive look, or collapse them to clean up the look. The neck is, I think, the selling point on this figure. Whoops. You can get this neck with this wing out of the way to look up, and that head like that. That is solid, and it looks so good, especially for those swooping looks, or if you have Blue Eyes just standing upright. You can have Blue Eyes roaring. And then Blue Eyes can look down about this far. Tuck its head in like so. For the torso, we have a lot more of that ball and socket, ball joint goodness. Can crunch forward like so, and it can lean back like so. You do get some gapping up here, but keep in mind this is also where you're going to get some side-to-side rotation with Blue Eyes. A little bit of left, a little bit of right. When I say left and right, I'm orienting Blue Eyes this way when I'm saying that. Or left or right. There you go. The arms are on a ball and peg system. So these do peg in. They are a socket, a ball and socket, I should say. They rotate a full 360 with a hinge for the elbow articulation. So they go in about that far and go down about that far. There is also a lower bicep swivel. Down here, it also does move the ball hinge, so be wary of that. Again, any ball hinge, you're going to have to move first to get into the right position that you want without straining it. The wrist is also on a ball hinge. You can go down about that far, and it can go up about like so. You can extend the arm out. Ooh. Oh, this far. The arms go out about like that. Any more, and they'll probably pop out of the socket. The legs also do rotate a full 360. They are on a ball hinge for the knees as well. They can go out about like that, and they'll tuck in about like so. The feet have good ankle rockers. They can go down about that far, and they can come up that far. Now, for the wings. The wings themselves are on a hinge here and a hinge here. And then you have ball pegs that connect these two wing membranes into the upper portion of the wing. The wing can come in that far. It's a little loosey-goosey. And it can go out that far. So from the back of Blue Eyes, that's what it looks like. And this wing here is positioned all the way out. The hinge itself for the wing to flare it out can go that far. And it can tuck in just a little bit like that. I want to stress that you want to be very careful when articulating these pieces here, because the ball pegs do have resistance, and if you see any kind of resistance or feel it, don't push it, because these will snap off up in the top and you're not going to have a very good time. So just be very, very mindful of that. Otherwise, you can get the wings to move just about however you want them to. If you want a flapping motion, you can turn them in like that. Or if you want them upwards, I don't know why, maybe kind of a flared position where maybe Blue Eyes, like I said, is swooping in. You can have the wings kind of flared up. And then the ball hinge up here for the wing, for it to articulate, does also come in on itself. So you can, I know there's a picture on the box art that kind of has it in a shield-like position. You can bring the wing in to kind of simulate Blue Eyes being in defense mode if you so choose. But again, this wing is a little bit loosey-goosey. These do articulate out, so if you want to fan the wing out, we're going to use the other one because that one's not wanting to cooperate. If you want to fan it out, you can. And that's what it looks like when it's fanned out. And then collapsing on itself. Like so. See the resistance? Be very careful. For the tail, the last bit of articulation we're going to go over. The tail can go up like that, and it can go down like so, and it can go side to side like that. So there is no limit to how you can pose Blue Eyes when it comes to getting it into all sorts of positions. Like I said, watch out for this. Be very mindful and be very careful. And overall, I think you're going to have a very good time with Blue Eyes. Because me personally, I could pose Blue Eyes all day long, so long as I'm not touching the wings, because I'm very, very cautious and very scared to do any more with them than I have to. For the accessories, Blue Eyes comes packaged with a Burst Stream Destruction or White Lightning effect piece, and a support stand for the figure and the effect piece itself. The instructions are pretty straightforward. All you need to do is line up the pegs with the peg holes, and then you can plug it into the support stand. Keep in mind, you may need to use a little bit of force. Don't be afraid to use some hot water, as it'll help with the process. Setting up the stand is just this easy, but I found the stand to be somewhat cumbersome, and getting Blue Eyes' wings to fit in the cradles is just straight up awkward. It'll work though, once you get the wings leveled with each other, just be patient. So, as I mentioned before, Blue Eyes here is my first MonsterArts figure. I used to have the Mikel Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon that could shoot the Neutron Blast effect out of its mouth, along with the Dark Magician and Celtic Guardian. But those have long since been misplaced. Here though, I do have some Dragon Ball figures we can compare it with. The Super Saiyan 2 Son Goku event exclusive, and the Majin Vegeta event exclusive with the Tonson Art Toys custom Indomitable Fighter head sculpt. And if you're having some ideas of displaying the figure next to some of your Holy Grail Blue Eyes White Dragon cards, here's what the figure looks like next to the SDK Blue Eyes. From the moment this figure was announced, I knew we were going to be in for a real treat, and Tamashii Nations did not disappoint. I wanted to keep my expectations low so that way I wouldn't be disappointed, but with this being the Yu-Gi-Oh! Monster I associate with my childhood, it was hard not to get excited about this figure. Initially, I was on the fence with this figure, as reviews for the MonsterArts line haven't been too favorable as of late. But I'm glad I stuck with it and kept my pre-order for not one, not two, but as DPYGO would clip in,
3 of them things?
So, for those of you looking to pull the trigger on this figure, do it. I cannot stress enough how much fun I had with this figure just posing it around to get ideas and thoughts together for the review. I also can't wait for my Kaiba briefcase to come in, because once I review that, the acrylic case holding the 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons in the OG artwork with the DDS foiling will be the focal point of my Blue Eyes display with these surrounding it. And for you Red Eyes fans out there, I am aware that they have announced it, and I'm super excited for it, plan on reviewing it. I just hope that the Red Eyes lives up to the expectations that this is set. So anyways, let me know what you think down below. Do you love the figure? Do you hate it? Maybe you have another monster you'd like to see besides this or Red Eyes. Me personally, outside of any other Blue Eyes themed card, would love to see Cyber Dragon or any of Jaden's Elemental Heroes, as GX is probably my favorite series. I appreciate y'all stopping by. This has been Talit Reviews, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.